Thanks for joining us on this very special series we're running with Jenny Williams, an elite athlete, an elite coach, a master's in psychology, runs her company Best on Ground Performance. Let's find out what makes the elite athlete successful. Jen, thanks for joining us.
Hi Phil, yeah, it's a pretty good question, isn't it?
Well, you tag it down as the star factor. How do we make an athlete an extraordinary or a better athlete? How do we make a star?
Well, first of all, I think we need to know what a star looks like, and to find that out, I went and found all these athletes that had won world championships, Olympic medals, both coaches and athletes, X Factor players, and actually said, what do you do? Asked them a whole lot of questions and found out maybe what are all the attributes that make people not only maybe win the championship, but also have a good life afterwards.
All right, we talk about, if we put in a scenario so like baking a cake.
Yep.
So there's not going to be, I imagine after you've spoken to all these champions, there's not one singular ingredient. So there's, let's call it 8 or 10, and you have a star that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ingredients on it. Is any one ingredient more important than the other, or do you need all 8?
Nah, they're all important, but the one that's the most important that I've found is care. And that comes from not only how you feel about when you're playing, but also afterwards, life afterwards. And so the care aspect is 3 things. Care about yourself. In other words, you actually, to play well, you have to be enjoying yourself. You have to like yourself. Secondly, care about the result. Care about, do you want to win? It's really important. And the last of all, care about other people. Now that sounds a little bit counterintuitive, especially for individual athletes. But in fact, when you look at it, to be healthy, happy in that, even golfers need mates. They need people to go out and practice with. They need people, you're not going to win all the time. And sometimes when you don't win, you need someone there to be the life jacket for you, to help you get back up again. So those 3 aspects and the care in the middle is by far the best. Have you found that?
Unquestionably so. Unquestionably. You're going to have success, you have to, and your teammates have to know that you care about them as well. It can't be saying, I care about them, but I don't actually care, because they know. So in the end, we'll agree that, and I agree with you entirely, that care is the number one thing, not just in sport, but in life. So I think that's the key. What's the second ingredient?
Well, there's a whole lot of others, but just before we go on, I'll say the reason why care counts so much is you've won a zillion trophies, Phil. I know that. I've seen your trophy cabinet. How many ever ring you to find out how you are? You know, like on your birthday. Have you ever had a trophy or a world championship ring you up and say, Phil, hope you're having a really good day?
No, I reckon the best I've got out of any of my trophies is one's a doorstop at my mum's house. I think that's about the best value.
So that's the idea of what, it's not only the result and it's not only about yourself, it actually is about others, because I guarantee you can have some of your mates that you played in those championships, and when you have a reunion, isn't it a great thing talking about all the great things you did together?
Yeah.
So that sort of goes. Then there's a whole lot of other aspects. There's things like mastery. How many hours have you done? And these are all quite complex, different areas.
Okay,
but
break mastery down for us, because I know, because I've spoken about this before, but for the listeners and the viewers, what is mastery?
Well, this isn't my research. This is looking at anyone who makes it to be fantastic. How many hours do you have to put in? And of course there's exceptions, but in general, 10,000 hours to make a champion, except if you're a golfer, 17,490 hours. So again, that's because people can last longer in golf, because you can still play at 50 and be excellent. While in many other sports, around the 6,000 hour, it starts to get really difficult. You get drafted, and then people start to tell you you're not fast enough, you're not good enough, I don't think you're going to make it. So again, that makes a big difference, because if you don't get to those number of hours, you probably never will be great.
All right, what comes after mastery?
Well, there's things like...
Well, they don't come after, so we're
no,
saying
these are all around.
Yep. So the other ingredients in your star.
So these are all the other parts of a star. And one of the other things that's really important is talent knowledge. What do you know about getting better? And most people don't understand it. Like even things like Einstein would say, if you keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, insanity. Even Flow Rider, I keep doing the same old thing, wondering why things don't change. And I'll have players come and sit to me and say, Jen, I'm drafted. And they sit on my seat and I'll go, fantastic. And then they go, I'm training every day. And I go, but is everyone else in your team training every day? Oh yeah. Are we all doing the same thing? Oh yeah. So how are you going to break into the team ahead of other people who have more hours than you and more experience? So again, you have to look at what am I doing? What am I doing differently? What am I doing better? And this is teaching people to, instead of being emotional about what they do, to actually critically evaluate, as in thinking about it and then going, oh, I've got a plan to get better. And that's really important.
Okay, we're 3 ingredients into our start. We need to go to a break. Stay with us, still plenty to come.